Hi, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. And I'm going to go over a couple different things. In cybersecurity, everybody's, you hear the terms like ethical hacking and hackers and white hat and black hats and so forth. But where I work at in the realm of cybersecurity is prevention. And a lot of people hear different utilities that are out there. Tenable is one of them. There's Tenable OT. Nessus is part of Tenable. There's Rapid7, and there's a lot of other security tools out there. Tenable's Nessus has been one of the leading products for cybersecurity. And what you would refer to using this is if you have systems that are needed to be hardened and you want to make sure that they're as secure as humanly possible, they're patched, they've got all the different settings and hardening done, you can set up an authenticated scan to go across the network, more or less log into that system remotely and do a full scan of that system and give you detailed report of all the issues with that system and instructions and links to their Tenable website on how to actually remediate those issues. So let's go ahead and log in. Other things with Tenable, there's Nessus. There's a lot of different ways to install Nessus and on different platforms, and then there's also different ways, um, different types of Nessus. There's Tenable Nessus, there's Tenable Core, there's Security Center, there's Tenable OT. For small to medium businesses, you'll probably just want to go with Nessus Pro, where you got one system like what you see in front of you here, and you can go in, set up a scan of a subnet, and it go and set up the username and password like a domain account, and it goes through and scans all your system and gives you a detailed report. So what I have here is they do have a community edition, so you can download, you can install this on top of Windows, you can install it as a virtual appliance, you can install it on top of Linux, which is how this is running, and then log in through a web interface and do all your management through the web interface. So what I did is you just come in, you hit a new scan, you can either do like a host discovery. That's literally what it says. It goes through and just discovers your host. But most people are going to use a basic network scan, which you can also use credentials as well. You can give it a name, just give it a description. Then right here, this is going to be your targets. So you could do the whole subnet, or you could just do an individual host and save it. Well, sorry, don't save yet. There's different discovery options down here. You can just leave it default. One thing I did find out because I tried spinning up Nessus, you can run it as a container, but that didn't go too well because the Nessus environment wants direct access to the NIC. And when you're running a container, you don't really have that. I even tried what's called a Mac VLAN setup. That also didn't work. So I had to actually spin up a VM, Red Hat. I'm running this on Red Hat, and then actually just install Nessus on top of it instead of running it as a container. So you can come here, add your credentials, use SSH if you're gonna, do any type of Linux system. When you go down to Windows, it's very basic. You just put in your username, your password, and your domain. So like my domain is like scott.local or whatever your domain is where you're running. Then over here, you can go through, these are all the different plugins, and this is what's going to go through and use to scan your system. So it's going to go through from Microsoft up, more bulletins are more or less the Microsoft updates. You might be familiar with the microcode update. That was a big one. And let's see if there's anything else in here. A lot of Windows 10, the cumulative update, and so forth. Um, it's just got a whole suite of different things that it goes through and looks for. If it's not on the system, of course, it's just going to skip past it if it doesn't see it, especially if it recognizes, oh, hey, I'm on a Windows box. So once you get your scan set up, you save it, and then you'll see your scan listed here under My Scans. Then when you to run the scan, you just highlight it, and over here you just hit the launch button. And when you launch it, say I'll launch this one. When you launch it, it'll get this little green circle going here, and it'll progress and go forth and everything else. And that's a good sign. So if it's there continuing, sometimes it takes quite a while, especially if you're going to scan a whole subnet and you've got maybe 100 systems. It's going to take a little while. So let's take a look at the results. So I've already done a scan. So this right here is an older Windows 10 box I have laying around. So what I did is I did an authenticated scan, and I just used the local administrator account and used that as the credentials that it was going to go ahead and log into on the system. So right here it goes through and it tells you everything that needs to be done. And I can tell you, yes, this is running VMware Workstation on it. I am also running Microsoft SQL on it. Visual Studio Code. See, I know that all these things are on there. Wireshark is on there. Visual Studio. I think that's part of Visual Studio Code that I'm running on it. So it goes through here and shows you a whole suite, as long as a bunch of other informational stuff. If you have time to read things like this, so you can go through and look at that. But the key ones you're going to want to look at are the highs and criticals. Mixed, of course, is going to be mixed, but within the mixed, look, I've got a critical. So this is kind of a big deal. So what they're saying here is my VMware workstation that I'm currently running has known vulnerabilities, and I need to probably upgrade this to at least 17.6.3. You can even drill down and it'll give you a full description and all sorts of information. And then it tells you installed version versus the fixed version. And like I mentioned at the beginning, you can also just click a link and it should take you to the support note for the support page, give you all the information on that issue. And then and the way to remediate it is you just upgrade your software. And so like I'd have to upgrade my VMware workstation, need to upgrade my SQL, most likely. Yep, see, Wireshark's old. Like I said, this is an older Windows 10 version that I don't use, but I usually don't upgrade my Wireshark anyways. I just install it. So once you go and you upgrade all those things and more or less patching them, Microsoft Windows updates probably. Oh, here's an interesting one. So verify trust signature, enable cert padding check. So this isn't going to happen with a patch. So with this one, you're actually going to have to go in, and yet again, you can go to these links that are provided here and get more information from either Microsoft or Nessus. But you're going to need to go in to each system, which I use PowerShell for doing this, and you're going to have to set this registry key to what it needs to be. I guess I can just pull this up and go over that real quick, because I've actually had to patch this. Oh, it wants me to log in. All right, we'll go to the Microsoft article. Hopefully that has it. So you want to go here and you want to look this up, and it should have the fix in here and what you want your registry keys to be. Oh, here we go. All right, so here's the registry keys I was talking about. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have a value, a key, and then and it's going to be a D word, value 1. Then you're also going to have it under there's 60. So there's 64-bit and 32-bit. So most systems are 64-bit. So you're going to be setting this in two different places. So this right here is going to be the 32-bit, and see where it has this WoW 6432. If you're on a 64-bit system, which most likely you are, you're also going to have to set this registry key as well, and the enable cert padding check with a value 1, and enable cert padding check with a value 1. So here's that WoW 64 I was talking about. So these are the registry keys that you would set, and you're going to have to set that on all your systems. Well, the easiest way to do that on Windows is using PowerShell. and do it on a couple test systems first remotely, and then you can push that out to all your systems. But of course, make sure you do a change request to make sure everybody knows and it's been tested so you don't break something. So that's kind of the whole concept of being able to utilize Nessus to actually go out, do a scan, give you a report, and then that's where the work starts. Doing the scan's the easy part. Going out and actually having to remediate everything, that's actually all the work that has to be done, and that's kind of where I come in. I'm the guy that keeps people from getting into my systems, and I think I'm pretty good at it. So Nessus is one of the best tools that I've found that you can utilize for it. Like I said, they do have a couple different free versions that you can use. They have one which is totally free. Then they have another one where it's like for student and teacher edition. Then they have one for like home use where actually the license for an entire year is only like $200. So I'm actually thinking about getting that because then I'll be able to get 20 IPs, and actually I've got a decent amount of systems, and I'll be able to do some cool PDF and HTML reports. So I'm thinking about maybe going up to that $200 license. Also, so you got remediation. So if I go through and I fix all this, then I scan it again, then you'll actually be able to see this under remediations. So you'll actually be able to see the work being done after you've done all your stuff. You can scan again, and then you'd be able to go, oh, hey, look, cool, it's all fixed. And if it's not, then you're probably doing something wrong and you need to do research a little further. And maybe you set the wrong registry setting or you set it in the wrong place, and stuff like that. So just wanted to go over the basics of Nessus, what it's used for. If you have any questions or concerns, please just post something in chat and I'll try to get back with you. If you want me to do any videos on other things, please feel free to let me know because I got a lot in my head and I'm going to dump it down on this YouTube channel. So let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye-bye.